G'day, welcome to Dad vs Son, and for a little break I'm just going to do the first campaign of B-17 Flying Fortress Leader from DVG, which is a short campaign U-boat focus for August 1942. So the story behind this is the German U-boats were causing havoc against Allied convoys in the summer of 42. The 8th Air Force was tasked with bombing the U-boat pens that house the U-boats in an attempt to reduce the damage. So the special rules for this campaign is that we draw U-boat targets 1 through 4, 3 aircraft factories, 3 airfields. We get double VPs for U-boat targets destroyed, and the Luftwaffe response is -2. We get to start with our initial groups of 2 recruits, 2 greens and 1 average. Anything else we add can come in as a green. We have 60 SO points to start with, 18 per week that we get, and no replacement points, of course, because this only goes on for a month. We have 9 Luftwaffe squadrons. We have no secondary missions. We don't have to worry about the other theatres because this is only again 1 month, and we have no available technology. Other than that, we need 10 points for adequate, 14 for good, 19 plus for great in 4 weeks. So what I have here is up the back, I have my 3 airfield targets that have been drawn, 1, 4 and 7, and I've simply given them a green thingo so we can see where they are. So there are 2 airfields here and 1 airfield there. I have 3 aircraft factories, 9, 10 and 12. I've given them a yellow thing because I like to light them up with fire, and they are in hexes 9, 11 and 12. And then we have the 4 U-boat targets that we've picked, 3 of them in hex 8, 1 in hex 6, and good old German grey for that, 3 in 8, 1 in 6. We have the destroyed marker on 0 to start with. We have the supply markers for the aircraft factories out, and I've just got my little cubes ready for when I play anymore, if I do, to go into theatre deployment. So goldy sandy colour for the Mediterranean, red for the Reds, grey for the Germans, so I can just put it out on their track. I have simply placed bomb counters and so forth along the side for me. I've already put my bomber stream out with the fighter group. The year is 42, week 1 of August, and I've already put out the radar as the surveillance. The surveillance radar is the technology for the German commander, which we will get to. The navigation markers to and from the target, and I've just done these up for target 1 and target 2, so I can place them out on the board wherever I want, and I know where I've gone and where I'm going, hopefully. I've got the weather tokens up top, recon tokens, intel tokens, damage tokens, build tokens, incendiaries, and the response tokens. The dice rack, where I intend to try and leave this like that as much as possible. So we have Commander Weiss here with his Luftwaffe response -2. He has a poor response on 1, 2, average 3 to 8, high on 9, 10 all out. His tactics are bombs and rockets for his aircraft. He has surveillance radar, like I said. It's not going to worry us, but I've put it out anyway to get used to doing that. And then his focus is a reserve focus -2, again, which does not worry us for this campaign. The event cards, the dice, the chits, so we have the supply, the damage, and the bandit markers ready to go. Over here is my aircraft that I had purchased. So I've got 4 B-17s and 1 Spitfire group. So we've got the Memphis Belle, who comes with Commander Ray, which gives us evasion and a -2 XP per level. So the Belle actually started on recruit but as you can see, 2 minus 2 is 0, so it automatically upgrades to green. So that gives them a +1 air to air, -1 air to ground, and he comes with evasion, which allows 2 rolls for attacks if I want to do it. But the downside of that is if I use evasion against a bandit, I do not get to shoot back at the bandit, and if I use evasion against the flak, I do not get to bomb the target that turn. Right, next one is Paradise Lost, the 97th Bomber Wing. It came in as a recruit 5. I've given Commander Raper to them, who gives them concentrate fire and a +2 air to ground. So their air to air is now +2 and their air to ground is +2. The Grim Reaper, the 305th Bomber Group, came in as green 5. Comes with Commander LeMay, who gives them suppress and a formation +2. So he has a +2 air to ground and a +0 air, air to air and a +0 air to ground. And Hell's Angels, the 303rd Bomber Group, again came in as a green 5. I've given them Commander Castle, who gives them good aim and replenish 2. So they start pretty damn well with a status of 0 to 8 for OK, +2 air to air, +0 for air to ground. And the 4th fighter group, Spitfires, who come with Anderson, and that gives them Out of the Sun and Bandit Intercept +1. So Anderson is because of that, has a +5. So that's what we have. Oh, sorry, earthquake. So the first thing we're going to do is recon. So just so you're aware, this is my chart that I made up. There is nothing wrong with the player log that comes with the game. This is just me and my foibles, so it makes it a little clearer to me what I've got, when I've got it, how I've got it. So we have the campaign name, U-Boat Focus, the year, starting and ending month, so it's August. Weekly SO points, 18. Replacement per month, and we have none for this campaign. Any special conditions or targets, so U-Boat VPs are by 2. Starting SO points are 60. We've taken the weather option for a +10 points. The intel option for a +12, but I've spent 16 to get my 2 best recon assets. I've taken the veteran bandits option, so that's given me an 8 extra SO points, but that's placed 5 veteran Focke-Wulfs, these things, into the mix as well. Okay, so they're a little bit nasty. I have not taken the escort depletion option or the wings option, and that means that I had 92 SO points to start with. With, like I said, buying the Bell, that cost me 12. Paradise Lost, 18. Grim Reaper, 12. Hell's Angels, 16. And my fighter, 8. So we've already spent 66 of our 92 points, and we haven't got a plane off the ground. So the chart, I've got the aircraft type, and its bomber group number, its name, its commander, wing number if we go that way, its XP level and promotion XP required, any replacement points it has, XP gained. So once we go 1, 2, 3 with our little marks, then we rub that out, and put in whatever it is next. So, average 3, average 5. My chart is broken into 2 months, 4 weeks per month totals, 2 weeks per 2 missions per week, and it breaks it into target, the SO points used for that, the kills that that plane gets, and the target destroyed or not, so that we can tally it. For the fighters, HLS is whether they start out as high, low, or a fighter sweep, and then SO points that we spend for them and any kills that they get. Right down the bottom, we have, that's got to come down, it's in the wrong spot, adjusted SO points, so that should be 92 there. Used at the moment is 66. If we gain any, put them in. Any remaining at the end of the mission, VP earned, VP total as a running total. And that's it. It just helps me sort shit out a little bit clearer for me, and then I still put it in the wrong spot anyway, so hey, go figure. Righto, so first things first is recon. So let's come over, and what do we want to recon? And I think what we need to do is we want to recon 2 targets in different zones. So we need to recon 1 in 1 and 2, or 1 and 3, or 2 and 3, or whatever the case may be, just in case we get shitty weather. So this is the recon tokens we have. Pretty little mosquitoes. And the first thing I am going to recon is an airfield. And I'm going to go for the, what? Where are they? 9, 9, and 11. Okay, so we're going to go for airfield 1, which is up here. We're going to recon it, and we're going to recon over here in 12, because that's all we've got. We've got targets in zone 1, and we have target in zone 3, and we have no targets in zone 2. So we're going to do that. Aircraft is 9, 12. That one there. Okay. So the first die roll is for the airfield, and we need a 4 to 7 for medium intel, and we need a 8 or better for high intel. And we get a 2. So the airfield is low intel. That's useless. And the aircraft factory is a 9, so we have high intel there. So that gives us a +2 on the air-to-ground attack, and a -2 to any flak. Okay. Aye. Whoopee. Okay. Now the weather. So it'll be a white dice for the home base and black die for zone 1. So we have clear weather at home. We have mostly cloudy in zone 1. White for 2, black for 3. So we have normal, partly cloudy in 2, and we have clear in 3. Now the trouble with 3 is that gives us a +1 air to ground, which is great, but it's also +1 to the Luftwaffe response. Okay, so weather's done. We pick our target, and we are going to go after our aircraft factory. Righto. So we're going to take the whole wing with us. So it's aircraft factory 10. Okay. Our fighter will go in high. Now, bombs. I intend to take these Mark 34s because they can get up to 4 hits with each. Okay, so each of the B-17s will carry one of these. It's 4 weight points, as you can see in the bottom right, and it costs 3 SOs, as you can see in the top left. And that's the only money that I'm going to spend. So that's 3 SO points each. So that's an extra 12 on the 66 we've spent, which is 78, which leaves us with 14 at the moment total. So they don't go far. The other thing that I'm going to give a couple of the bombers is an incendiary to try and increase the damage. And I'm going to give the incendiary to the 97th Bomber Group, Paradise Lost, and to Hell's Angel, which is the 303rd. Okay, so that's the 2nd and 4th aircraft in the bomber stream. The other 2 aircraft, I'm simply going to just give them these El Cheapos Mark 30s. They don't get the D+2 bonus, so it's simply an 8 will give them a 1 hit, a 10 will give them 2 hits. Okay, so that is for the Bell and for Grim Reaper. Righto. So that's done. We're bombed up. Now we look at the Luftwaffe response, and it is -2 for the mission, for the campaign, +1 for the weather, so he's at a -1, and we get a 1 -1, so it's 0, which is poor. Poor means that we only get bandits from range 0, and we only get a maximum of 2. So I'll just put that there where we are targeting. So here's our target. And that's how we're getting there. That away. Righto. Next thing is the increased Luftwaffe response by 1 level. Okay, so we've gone up to an average response now, which is still range 0, but we can have up to 4 bandits. Righto. Okay, so we're good to go, and we take off and go up to there. Nothing happens. If we had a range 1 response, still nothing would happen, because the only one that's in range is the one that's actually in the target area, and he will wait for us till we get in there. So then we come in and we look at our bandit, and our potential bandit is a veteran Focke-Wulf. Of course, why not? If we're going to start, we may as well start well. So he's going to get 3 attacks for a 4, a 6, and an 8. But at least he's against our fighter. Yay! Righto, so he gets to go first, and what are we going to do? What are we going to do? We've got Out of the Sun. No, so it doesn't matter. So 4, 6, 8. He gets a 9, so that's 3 hits to us already. Ouch. Now, we're good. Our status is okay until we hit 8. So, sorry, 3 hits, not 2 hits, idiot ass. Okay, 3 hits. Now it's our turn. And we are +5. We need a 10 to knock him off. And he's got a 2, so that means I've got to take 2 off my roll, so I've got a +3. Nope, not good enough, only 7. He gets his second attack, and he gets a 7, which is another 2 hits, takes us up to 5. And we are still at a +3. Is only an 8. And his last go at us is a 1, which does nothing. And let's shoot the bastard down. No, we did not. We just took lots of hits for nothing. And he goes back into the mix. Right, next is flak. It is 1 roll against each aircraft. Each of my aircraft has a durability of 1, so that'll help to take 1 off. And the intel for the target is a -2 flak. So we're going for -3, and here we go. This is the Bell first, -3. 7 -3 is 4, is no good. We need at least a 6 to hit. Okay, Paradise, nothing. Reaper is a 6, so 1 hit on the Reaper. And Hell's Angels is a 5, so nothing. Right, our turn. So the first thing to bomb is the Bell. And she's got the Mark 34 and the Mark 30. So we're going to drop the Mark 34 first. Here's the die. So it's a 3, 5, 7, 9. Now, the Bell is at a -1 air to ground, which is offset by the target, which is a +1. So that's 0. But then we have +2 for the intel and +1 for the weather. So it's a +3. And she gets a 2 + 3 is 5, which is 2 hits. And then a +3 on the Mark 30 is a nothing. So that's the Bell finished. Then we've got Paradise Lost. And Paradise Lost is bombing for +2, +3 for the target, +5 for the intel, +6 for the weather. And this is her Mark 34 at +6 is 4 hits, takes us up to 6. And +6 on the incendiary. We don't really need to roll because the worst she can get is a 1. And that'll give us the 7 that we need for the hit. Oh, look at that, we hit. So we have incendiary on there. Righto. Then we have the Grim Reaper. Now the Reaper is at a +0, +1, +3, +4 for her Mark 34. That's 4 hits, which takes us up to 10. And then the Mark 30 for +4 is a 5, which is nothing. And then lucky last is Hell's Angels, who is a +0. So again, she's +1 for the target, 2, 3 for the intel, 4 for the weather. +4 for her Mark 34. And gets a 7, which is 3 hits, which takes us to 13. Okay, and the target only required 12 hits. Okay, so target is destroyed. So, Homeward event. Contrails are visible. Draw 1 additional bandit for any bandit interceptions up to response max. Well, there are no interceptions on the way home because we go there and then we go there and nothing happens. Okay, so target 1 is blown away. There is no target left in there. The response goes away. Okay, intel marker goes away. Incendiary we didn't care about. Damage can go home. Paperwork time. So we get, this was worth 2 VPs, so 2 supply as well, so that goes away. We had no kills, but we destroyed the target. So we get 2 XP for each bomber. And we get 2 XP for the fighter. We did not gain any SO points, so we have 14 SOs left, and we gained 2 victory points. So we have 2 victory points. And that target's dead. And we would usually put a build marker to tell us that we need to build another aircraft factory up on the next month. So we will, even though it's not going to matter. Okay. And we are into week 2. So what else do we need to do for week 1? And debriefing. We've done victory points. We've done experience points. We've recorded the group status. There is no remaining missions. So we go on to the next week. So we can clear off those markers. Okay, now our fighter has 5 damage out of 7 for OK. And the Reaper has 1. Okay. So first things first, as usual, is a recon. So we're going to recon our airfield at 11 again. And we will recon we're going to be stuffed. If we get stormy weather down in here, we're stuffed because this is the only place we have targets, zone 1. What have we got? 14 SO points. And we get 18, so that'll give us 32. Okay, so we're going to look at a U-boat, and I think what we'll do is we might actually fly all the way down to 6 here. It's actually the easiest one to hit. It only needs 13 damage. Doesn't give us anything extra, but it's, yeah, and it's a +1 air to ground. And it's the only one that's that far away. Okay. So, first roll is for the airfield, and again, it's on a low at the moment. So we need a 4 to 7 for medium, 8+ for high, and we get low again. And for the U-boat pen, same thing, and we get a 10. So we have high intel on the U-boat. So I'll put that on there. Take our recon assets back, and we will roll for weather. So again, white for home, black for zone 1, and we get home is partly cloudy as usual and partly cloudy as usual. And I'm not worried about rolling for the other two zones because we're not going there at all. There are no targets. So I'll just get rid of these berms. Righto, so our target is going to be U-boat pens down in hex 6, which is U-boat pens 4. This one here. We can take 4 bombers, which is what we have. Okay. Right, so we're going to take our 4 bombers to U4. We are not going to take the fighter. He's not playing today. So we're only doing the one mission for this week. Right. Now, it's a hardened target, so that means no matter how many hits we get, we take 1 off for each bomb that hits. So we have a choice. So we finished with 14. We now have 32 points, and we're going to have to use them. Okay, so probably the best chance we have of hitting is with these GB4s on the B-17s, because we can get up to 4 hits, which means we can get up to 3 hits max per aircraft. Now, that's not enough to destroy this target, of course, because it needs 13 hits. So, that makes it a little bit difficult. So the other thing that we could do is take our Disney bombs. Okay. Now, these bombs, you get 3 rolls on each. They do not... they're not affected by the hardened. They're made to go through a hardened target. So realistically, each one of these bombs could do a maximum of 6 damage. Okay? But we can only carry 1 of these for each aircraft, and that's it. But I think that's a pretty fair bet, because we've got a, +2 air-to-ground intel-wise, and we've got a +1 air-to-ground for the pens. So, we're in with a bit of a bloody chance. Now, I can't afford to take all of these because that would be 24 points, and we're not doing that. So I'm going to give 2 aircraft these, and that is going to be is going to be the Bell. We'll get 1. And everybody else is going for a +2 or a 0, whereas the Bell's the only one that was a -1. That's why I've given it to Bell. And I think the others can take one of these each. So what's that? 6 and 12 is 18. And that can give me 3, 6, 9, 15. That's not really enough, is it? Okay, I'm going to give Hell's Angel one of these as well. And then I am going to not use that. Or am I? Yep. I'm going to give one of those to Paradise Lost and 1 to Grim Reaper. So that's 6 SOs, 4 SOs, 4 SOs, and 6. So that's 20 SOs we've just spent out of the 32 we had. And that leaves me with Paradise Lost and Grim Reaper can take 2 more weight points each. So I'm just going to give them a mark 30, which costs nothing. That means they've got to get a 10 to get 1 hit. Right. So that's done. Next is the Luftwaffe. Let's mark the target first. We're coming down here. And we're coming down here like that. Okay. Luftwaffe response is a -2. 2 minus 2 is a zip. So we have poor Luftwaffe response. And we have add 3 damage points to the target. Well, I like that. That helps straight up. So we now have 3 damage out of the 13 we need. Ripper, Raider. Okay. So we're all ready to go. It's poor response. So as we can show you just over here, we go from base to here. And then we come into here. And because we're en route, this guy can have a go at us. And we get another veteran, Focke-Wulf. And we have no fighter support this time. He's got out of the sun, but that doesn't matter. So we roll to see which bomber group he's going after. And he's going after number 9, which is good old Hell's Angels down the back. Righto. And he gets 3 attacks. Now, Hell's Angels has good aim, so they get a +1, and that's all they've got is a +1. Okay, so he's going to fire first. Well, in fact, Hell's Angels has got a +1, and he's got a +2, so we can't even shoot back and get him. Okay, so it'll just be him attacking 3 times. And he has a 4, 6, 8. And there's an 8 for 3 hits. That hurt. Nasty person that he is. And a 10 for 3 more is 6. Wrong one. Okay, we're good up until 9. And lucky last is a 5, which is 1 hit, which takes us up to 7. We're still good. Okay. And he flies away home, the cheeky bugger. Right. So that's done. And he's on a 3. No, sorry, he's on a 1. So he's going to hit us on the way home again too. So we come in here. And we have no Luftwaffe squadrons in the area. So it's just the flak. The flak is for 2 rolls per aircraft. And we are -2 for the intel. And -1 for each aircraft, so it's -3. So Bell first is a 0 and a 5. We need at least a 7 to hit. Paradise Lost, -3 is nothings. Reaper is nothings. And Hell's Angels is nothings. Righto, so the first bomber is the Bell. And she's dropping her Disney, so we get 3 rolls. Needs a 5 or a 7 for 1 or 2 hits. And we have -1 air to ground for the Bell. +1 air to ground for the target itself, so that's 0. And we have +2 for the high intel, so it's, each of these is +2. Okay, so she gets a 4. Which does nothing. But we get a 5 and we get an 8, so that's 3 hits. So that takes us up to 6. Okay. Next aircraft is Paradise Lost. who's going to drop the GB4 first. And Paradise is at +2, +3, +5 air to ground, +7 air to ground for the GB4. And gets a 3, so that's another 4 hits, which takes us to 10. And the Mark 30 is at, again, +2, +4, +5, and gets a 3, so that is 1 hit, but because this doesn't have the ability to punch through, we needed to get a 10, so that's a nothing. Third bomber is the Reaper, and she's got the same GB4, and she's bombing for +2, +3, +5 for the GB4. Yep. So that's a 9, which is 4 hits, which takes us to 14. And, oh, sorry, she only gets 3 hits for that one. Takes us to 13, which is still fine because we only needed 13 hits for this target. Okay, so target is destroyed. So we're flying away home now, and it is bonus SO. If the target was destroyed, gain SO points equal to the target's victory points. Right, now that's going to help big time because, let's get rid of this and get rid of this, because it's victory points 2, but remember, victory points are doubled for U-boat targets. So that's 4 SO points we'll get. So we spent 16, we've got 16 left. We get 4, so that gives us 6 SO points after the second week. And now we're going to fly away home. Yay! So target's gone. Response is still poor. This is back. We come back here and we see if there's a bandit attack. So it won't be a tick. Righto, so bandit potential. Here we go. And we have a 109. Okay. So again, we don't have a fighter, so let's see who he's going to go after. And he's going after... oh, poor old Hell's Angel. Okay. So we actually still had 3 bombs, didn't we? Wow. Okay, so this bloke hits on a 7, 9, 11. And at least we can shoot back at the bugger. Okay, so he's going to shoot first. And he gets, of course, a bloody 9. 2 hits, which takes us up to 9, which means we are now shaken, not stirred. Oh, wrong one. Where are we? There we are. Okay, 9. Okay, so we get to shoot back. Now we are shaken, which means we are +1 air to ground, but we have good aim, which gives us, air to air, so we have +2. We need an 8 to shoot this bugger down. And we got an 8! We shot him down! Woohoo! Well done, Angel. Well bloody done. Okay, so nothing else happens, and we fly up to here now, and nothing happens, and we land. And that is that, and that one is gone. It's gone! Woohoo! Okay, like that. So, paperwork-wise, Bell got no kills, but the target was destroyed. No kills, target destroyed. No kills, target destroyed. 1 kill, target destroyed. So Bell gets 2. And I needed 1, so she's going to have 1 left. 1 XP left and will be promoted. Paradise gets 2, needs 1 more to be promoted. Reaper gets 2 and needs 1 more. The Angel gets 2 and needs 1. Ooh, gets 3. Has enough to be promoted. Sorry. And our little Spitfire didn't fly, so has nothing. Now the Hell's Angel has replenished 2, so we'll go down to 7. I think I do. Indira, do. Righto. So that is that. So we have 6 VP at the end of week 2. So we'll call it quits there and come back with week 3. That's it. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll catch you later.